Hello. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about some dreams. Or my mouth is really dry right now. Anyway, so it was really interesting because recently I've been having a lot more of a recollection of my dreams on certain nights, basically. And if you if you have any understanding that you have like spirit babies, or a baby that's like kind of meant for you in a certain way, this could be a reading for you, because they were everywhere in this dream last night. And it started out where it was like, it wasn't the funnest, most fun initially, because there was a, let me see if I can, the way I wrote it, it's not going to be too helpful. Let me see. Okay, so you could have had some type of abusive ex, and in this dream, like, the person was like really abusive, but I haven't had that type of exact situation in my real world life type of thing, like I've had different types of abuse, I guess, but like this was like a lot more of like a physical thing. And so that wasn't too fun, right? But then I, got this person out of my, it was the house, right? I got him out and out of my energy, and there was a lot of other people who were around in a way, but they weren't really involving themselves. Okay, they were like there, but they were just trying to like preserve what was broken. There was more of like a celebratory focus, but there's these babies that were there, and I was like having, I'm taking care of these babies, and hold on. Okay. And at first I was like not thinking that they were mine, and then they were like showing me that they were mine. So I was like, okay. And so I'm taking care of these babies, and then let me see. Then I think my dad was there, and he was like, telling me different stuff in the background, but it was really weird because there was people who weren't really being too direct and upfront, but they were just kind of there to maybe dissipate the irritation, right? And then there was somebody who was like somebody's friend was there, and it was like I don't think it was the same person who was being abusive, but it was like they were showing their support, and like it was all of the support was really kind of just like this, just being there, and being like but not trying to keep the focus on the irritation, right? And let me see, then I found myself like, it was like I was like going on vacation, but I was driving down one of those parking structures where there's like a spiral going down, and in the middle of it, like, we were supposed to be going to like Hawaii or something like that, but on the way to get to where we were, there was an argument that was going on, and I was like, I'm getting out of here, so instead of like continuing going on this like downward spiral, basically is what it was, I decided, I'm getting out of this situation, right? And even if this person, like, and it feels like the first person was out of the picture, but then there was like this next person who was trying, even though things didn't work out in that situation, they were trying to kind of like buy affection. Excuse me. But it was really just more of the focus of knowing that you're meant to be, protecting and caring for these babies, and they were finding their ways to get my attention, and they're like mischievous and playful, but it was like overall there's like a lot of love. So instead of kind of focusing on negative situations that aren't working, and trying to make things work when you know that they're not meant to. There's a need for you, or, you know, in this situation, to really kind of pay attention to what it is that you're meant to be bringing into a situation, and not allowing for, you know, being persuaded in a different direction, okay? And then, there's this other random part, and I don't know if any of this is, like, resonating in any type of way, but it was really, like, just, like, the babies were everywhere. It was so weird. But, and they were so cute. But, then there was, like, recognition, of old friendships, and, not wanting to, be inauthentic, okay? So, there's a need to kind of, I guess, recognize what it is that you're feeling disconnected within, and not try and force a situation or a connection that isn't necessarily there, okay? So, but other than that, like, there's some spirit babies that are trying to get in into the physical world, and there could be a need to kind of really maintain the focus on what you know is important, instead of trying to falsify, you know, the right way to be, or something like that, when you know that certain situations or relationships aren't working out, okay? So whatever it feels that's, like, disconnecting you from God, in a way, is, you know, something that you, or from your own authenticity, basically, is something that is needing to be recognized, and pay more attention to the love and, that is being shown to you, and that you're wanting to express, okay? So anyway, that, it was like, the dream was so much more intense and informative, and I really don't feel like I'm, like, you know, explaining it the right way, but it was really, like, I was getting, you know, jumped around in different places, you know, and so it was a little kind of chaotic in certain ways, but the focus was, that I recognized, was, you know, focusing on the love that's wanting to be expressed, and the care that you know is needed, but not, you know, altering what you know is right, you know? So stay true to yourself, and, you know, if this is resonating, right? But anyway, let's see, what else the tarot could be having to say, okay? And today is 2626, okay? So that could be something you might want to look up, see what the number is about. Could be, oh yeah, actually, that's partnerships and family, so there you go. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you could be, you know, focused on, you know, true partnerships and family that you're desiring of, and, you know, perpetuating what you know is, you know, meant to come in for you, okay? I saw the Eight of Wands just a second ago, and I opened it the wrong way, and so there could be some intentional action or communication that you could be moving forward towards. And one person that kept popping up was like it was like there was like a twin type of energy, okay? So there could be some type of recognition. It doesn't have to be like a real twin, but like personality and energetically. There was this person who kept trying to, you know, show their support, but there was a feeling of not wanting to like step on toes or whatever, you know? So at this point we got two horses that are rearing up, okay? And so somebody could be really kind of getting ready to go and move intentionally, like I was saying. There could have been some type of major transformation, and somebody could be really feeling inspired and wanting to move forward purposefully, okay? They could have had some type of rebirth that has occurred, and somebody could be feeling that they are, you know, truly prepared to move forward into, you know, what it is that they're desiring of at this time, okay? Yeah, we got a lot of wands. We got the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands right there. The Page of Wands was just there a second ago. So yeah, somebody could be feeling, you you know, pretty strong-willed and intentional with what their desires are, okay, wanting to bring forth into their life what they've envisioned, okay. They could have been restricting themselves, but at this point somebody is knowing what steps and action they know mentally that they're meant to be taking, okay. Right, and we got the Page of Cups right there as well, so someone can be feeling, you know, much more intentional with their emotional expression at this time. All right, so if this is resonating, then let's find out what's in the cards. What Spirit has to say today. Ooh, starting out with the Star. I can't show it because she's naked. And the Ten of Pentacles? No way. What? Alright. So somebody is really kind of wanting to be vulnerable, pour into a situation with, you know, tender, loving care, and they could be knowing that they're moving forward towards their long-term goals and the legacy as well of, you know, what they're leaving behind for future generations. Yeah, somebody could be feeling truly inspired and, like I said, purposeful with what their emotional expression is at this time. They could be holding, you know, their cup of, you know, love in a way that they know as they move forward with this, they will be being much more fulfilled. And they're anticipating what it is that they have coming in for them as they move forward in this direction, okay? All right. And those little babies, oh my gosh, they were so cute. So cute, like literally. So freaking cute. I was just like, oh my gosh, and they were like, even though it was like a little tiny baby still, like they were like super personality and like just focused on me in a way where they were just like, ah. Like it was so cute. I'm like, anyway, can't get over it right now. But we got the Strength card, okay, the Eight of Wands, and the High Priestess. So yeah, somebody could be feeling truly confident and courageous with the action that they know that they're meant to be taking when it comes to their intuitive awareness and the truth that they have within them, okay. They could have been recognizing they'd been absent from a situation that they're at this point really wanting to bring themselves into much more intentionally, all right? And, excuse me, they could be really obsessed with creating the perfect plan in order to create, you know, knowing that they have the potential to, you know, bring in whatever it is that they're desiring of into this world. They have, you know, the true ability to handle this, and they could be really wanting to move forward passionately, okay? Somebody's been doing a lot of internal work, and at this point they could be shining the light on the situation. Like in this picture, we have the Hermit, and then we have the Ace of Wands. So it's like somebody could have been, you know, really focused on their internal light and the awarenesses that they've formed while going inward. And at this point, with the wand that they have right here, you know, so they've been focused on, you know, true inspiring awarenesses, and now they're going to be taking the action upon themselves. To do what they know that they're meant to be doing, that they're feeling purposeful within. And we have the Three of Pentacles. Somebody could be really focused on what type of, you know, team and relationship dynamic they're wanting to open themselves up to. So part of the dream, I'm kind of remembering at this point, and it could be relevant, I guess, but I also see the number 1, 2, 3 right here. So somebody could be feeling like they're taking the steps necessary to move into action, but in the and I got 4 right there. So in the dream there was somebody who'd gotten like a lot of like you know, physical work done or whatever, and you know, on their body, and they looked completely different than how they had previously, but they also had this kind of like, there's like a disconnection from who they really were, like they were hiding behind this like false expression of themselves at this time, and even though they might have looked good in whatever way, it was like they weren't really the same as who they'd been, and they were like it was like really like hiding behind this new outward expression, you know. So somebody could be kind of recognizing the disconnect in certain situations and wanting to move forward more intentionally towards what they know is meaningful and purposeful, but like authentic and true. Okay, so like even with the other part of the dream where it was like there's this grand vacation type of thing, you know, and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that, but like, you know, you can make all these plans, but if you can't get along with the person that you're planning on going and doing these things with, then where's the enjoyment, you know? So why is it the focus of all these things that you could be getting if you can't enjoy your time with the person that you are, you know, doing these things and spending your time with? And, you know, like, I guess it's even like, what's the point of even putting that type of effort in when you know that both parties aren't in sync with each other or adding to each other's lives and just taking away, you know? So there's this kind of all over the place, but awareness of, you know, there's a need to separate yourself from, you know, what is being false and causing harm, and what is, you know, the focus of where you know you're meant to be focusing your time and putting your love and care into. Okay, so at this point, somebody could be, you know, really integrating new truths and healing themselves. They're resting within this, and they could be kind of knowing that they had been in some type of recalibration mode in order to get to this position of understanding. But once they feel content with the awarenesses that they've formed, you know, they could have been feeling like they were like not wanting to rush themselves and you know, move forward haphazardly. But once they get to a certain understanding, they could be seeing that like where they thought they weren't doing what they needed to do, they could be seeing this as that, you know, period of time of integration and having that much of a greater confidence in moving forward. Okay, so yeah, somebody could be really feeling that they've learned what they needed to, or are learning what they need to in order to, you know, move forward intentionally and use the discernment that they've formed and created in order to get to where it is that they're desiring to go. Okay. Just get those out up here. Whoa. Do, 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 do. And somebody could be kind of realizing in the time that they weren't there, there is, you know, like a clearing. There's some type of an awareness that, you know, although there had been some type of absence previously, it's not something that they're needing to, you know, kind of beat themselves up about, that there is some type of understanding and awareness of, you know, excusing of this, okay? And they could be feeling confident with, you know, knowing the way that they're taking action now is much more important and meaningful in comparison to maybe, you know, going into the situation without the full knowledge that they needed previously. Okay, so somebody could be feeling, instead of like kicking themselves about certain things, they could be feeling that they are, you know, feeling that much more intentional at this time and confident with where they are now in comparison to where they'd been previously. Okay, all right. So yeah, somebody could be really focused on, you know, creating their life as they've envisioned it. Okay, they're knowing what it is that they're wanting to pour themselves into. They know what title they're wanting to embrace for themselves, and they could be feeling that there's a true balance and justice, clarity and truth within the action that they're taking, feeling that they are much more prepared, okay? And they could be recognizing the anxieties that they had, but they're no longer, you know, staying in that anxious position, and they're, you know, moving forward into the next chapter, okay? Somebody could be really wanting to make sure that everything is taken care of just so, and, you know, they could be wanting to give themselves a higher chance of success, okay? But they're recognizing where it is that they're wanting to devote themselves to, what type of guidance they're receiving, and they could be, you know, moving in a much more celebratory way, feeling that there, you know, hadn't been the loss that they had previously perceived, but they could be, you know, getting to a much more joyful position with what type of expression and relationship dynamics they're opening themselves up to at this time, okay? All right, okay, look at that. So yeah, we have the Magician, the Six of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Nine of Wands, okay? So somebody could be feeling confident within their ability at this time to manifest and create what it is that they know they're meant to be, okay? And they could be, you know, moving forward confidently, knowing that they're not only just taking care of themselves, but they are providing for others, and they're receiving what it is that they've been desiring of physically into their world, that they've been holding their ground and, you know, wanting to make sure that they didn't mess up in the first place, okay? So at this time, they could be really seeing that the action that they're taking now at this time is, you know, what is needed to receive what they're truly desiring of, but like there's a recognition of the battles and the difficulty that they've gone through, and at this point they are seeing the difference and the reason why they had been, you know, holding their ground in the way that they did, okay? So and I just got a message saying someone will be heading over, okay? And then we got the 1, 2, 3 again right there. Yeah, somebody could be much more intentionally taking action that they know they're meant to be taking within themselves, but not only for themselves, but for others, okay? So somebody's moving away from difficulty and into calmer water, ready to receive you know, what they're truly wanting, and moving into a much more abundant new beginning, okay? I just keep thinking about those little babies. They were so cute. Okay, so yeah, there could have been a lot of pain based on other people's negative intention, okay? And so somebody could have been, you know, really wanting to protect themselves from a greater amount of pain coming into them, into their life. But at this point, they could be knowing that they're closing out those cycles of negativity, and there's, you know, no longer a reason for them to block themselves as they move in a way where they are aligned with their higher self, ready to express, you know, certain truths that can educate others, and move forward towards, you know, what it is that they are, you know, truly desiring of, and what has been enticing them or feeling, you know, giving them a feeling, this feeling of inspiration. So somebody could be, you know, really no longer wanting to hold themselves back in a way, you know, like I said, that they had been previously. Look at, we got the 7 of Wands right there. They're ready to maintain their truth and, you know, go up against certain opposition, knowing what they're fighting for at this time. Oh my goodness, look at this. These cards keep flipping out. All right. Oh. Okay. So we got the King and Queen of Wands right here with the Sun card, okay? So it's like there's this, you know, true recognition of a match, you know, that somebody is entering themselves into within a relationship dynamic, and they could be really seeing the positive outcome that can be being brought into the situation. They could be feeling much more enthusiastic about what they've been passionate within, and seeing a greater sense of connection. Like, even with this imagery right here, oops, let me see if I can hold it right so you can see it. Meh, can't do it. So, like, this part of his cloth is kind of like going into this part right here, and then this part down here is going into her dress, you know. So somebody could be really seeing the larger picture, connectivity, and you know, no longer feeling that this is just all on them, but recognizing that they are moving into a situation where they are receiving the support, the you know, reciprocal energy, the desire on both parties, and they could be seeing things in a much more positive way in comparison to the outlooks they've been navigating through previously. Okay, sunflowers could be relevant as well, but let me see. I was gonna say something else. Let me see. What was it? Animals could be relevant too, but I can't remember. Maybe it'll pop back up. Anyway, so yeah, somebody could be no longer wanting to open themselves up to, you know, undesired situations, and they could have learned what they needed to in order to combat the feeling of loss that they could have been, you know, not wanting to face. Okay, at this point, they could be seeing the difference with, you know, how they feel within themselves, in a true way, and, you know, what they had been kind of trying to avoid, I guess, based on the difficulty that they've navigated through previously. Okay, so like all these cards right here, we have somebody looking off to the side, or you know, completely turning their back, right? So, you know, somebody could have been really not wanting to face certain truths, but we have 555 right here, and there could have been, you know, major change from, you know, what they had felt was, you know, that they were needing to go through, you know what I mean? Like, in that dream I was saying, there was, you know, like, feeling the need to submit to these, undesired situations, and you know, seeing all around that there wasn't really like, it wasn't really necessary, you know. So instead of feeling like, you know, this is the only way and I just have to feel this way and I have to force myself through this, you know, somebody could be recognizing the difference of how they could be really expressing themselves in a meaningful and loving way, and being made aware of the complete difference. Okay, so it's like somebody could have been feeling like, I just have to, you know, I have to do it, you know, whatever, like, you know, whether I'm really receiving what it is that I'm desiring or not, we just got to get through this situation, you know, whatever the case is. And at this point, they could be, you know, seeing that that's not really necessarily the way that they have to do things, and they could be, you know, sharing their love and their affection and their joy much more openly and easily, and it could be leading them towards a greater sense of fulfillment. Okay, so let me see. I really feel like I want to get to that message that I was maybe the other card before it. Oh yeah, okay. That could help. So yeah, as somebody is, you know, recognizing that they're coming into alignment with their higher self. They could be, you know, recognizing that as they move more intentionally and authentically, they will be receiving, you know, what it is that they are truly desiring of, and they no longer have to hold on to, you know, the previous situations that hadn't been working, because of the lack of authenticity, you know. Did you wash your hair twice with soap? Yeah. Or shampoo? Mm-hmm. Okay. That oil takes a long time sometimes. Get out of there. Yeah, somebody could be somebody could be recognizing that they are, you know, they had been restricting themselves from what they felt was something that was truly worth what their focus was, you know, where their desired focus was, you know, meant to be. Okay. And at this point, they could be really stabilizing and grounding themselves when it comes to how it is that they're wanting to express themselves. They could be feeling that they are, you know, getting to a position where they can be much more intentional and take action, where they are feeling much more prepared to achieve their end goal and desire. Okay. And they could be recognizing much more easily and openly that they had been, they were the person that was needing to take action, that they were the only one who was really restricting themselves from where it was that they were meant to be and what it is that they're really desiring to form within their life. Okay, so somebody could be really taking it upon themselves to, you know, cut away from the false truths that had been placed upon them and move forward in a way that they are presenting what they're desiring to bring into their life in a physical way. Okay, we got 888 right here. So yeah, there could be this recognition of the mastery that someone has gotten to within themselves with what their abilities are, with what it is that they do spend their time focused on and creating, and they could be moving much more intentionally towards what they feel is, you know, emotionally fulfilling for them as they walk away from, you know, unfulfilled or empty cups. Okay, so they could be like knowing that the work that they've done and they've put into the situation can make them feel like they are competent and able to achieve what it is that they're truly desiring of emotionally. And, you know, in order to get to this position, there's a need for them to really walk away from what had been feeling, leaving them feeling drained or taking away from their true desired expression. Okay, I keep getting these like, oh, I gotta say that type of thing. And then as soon as I'm like, it like leaves my head, right? So, yeah, somebody could be wanting to like, you know, take action before they, maybe even like lose their nerve or feel, you know, so depleted in a way that they don't think that they have the ability to get out of a situation. Okay, so yeah, somebody could be ready. Look at that. We got the King of Cups, ready to, you know, present their true emotional desired expression, and know that they're moving in a way that is leading them towards a greater sense of fulfillment emotionally, but also physically bringing into their life what they're desiring of. Okay, maybe staying true to themselves, knowing what type of foundation they're wanting to create and what they need to release from their life in order to do so. And look at that, we got the Queen of Pentacles. They could be moving forward in a way where they know they will be receiving the support, you know, from the complementary party that they're moving forward towards. And they could be feeling that this is a, you know, a personal wish come true. They could have been, you know, working on their own fulfillment on their own in a lot of different ways, but they're recognizing that, you know, if you're with the wrong energy or, you know, party in your presence, then, you know, whatever the work is that you're doing and trying to achieve won't be as fulfilling or fulfilling in the way that they could have perceived or desired of. And somebody's really wanting to assert themselves in a way where they're no longer questioning themselves or others, but they're ready to receive, you know, what they know is their complementary partner, and they're wanting to move forward into, you know, a new intentional beginning with a greater sense of cooperation and create the environment that they know that they had been wanting to build towards in the first place. Okay, knowing that the reciprocation is what's needed in order to achieve this true fulfillment. Okay, so it's like you could have all the money in the world and whatever, you know, but if you're with the wrong person who isn't appreciative of your, you know, what you bring in to a situation, or you don't click, or, you know, get along, or you don't have the same type of energetic expression or understanding or morals and viewpoints and, you know, all these different things, then it's like, you know, there isn't that puzzle piece that you're needing. It's just kind of either left open or having something else jammed in the spot that, you know, doesn't finish the picture in the way that you're desiring for it to be. Okay, so yeah, as somebody feels more content with the work that they've done for themselves and what they've brought into their life in a physical way, they could be recognizing, you know, what could be really bringing in that greater level of success and victory into their life. We have 696 right here. So yeah, somebody could be feeling that they are moving forward towards a much more victorious situation as they face certain fearful awarenesses, you know, within their subconscious. They could have been, you know, being discreet or hiding themselves previously, but at this point they could be ready to, you know, more intentionally direct their focus at this time. And we got the Four of Wands, knowing that they're leading themselves towards the true aligned structure and home, relationship, family, and community dynamic that they had been envisioning. Okay, they're recognizing that there will be a greater flow of emotional expression that they could be at ease within. Okay, oh, look at the babies. I'm really not like, I'm not like that. Okay. Baby fever could be something, because like this is like ridiculous. Like how cute they are. Anyway, like I like babies, but like come on. Like seriously, I can't get over the little babies in my dream life. They're so freaking cute. Anyway, so somebody could be really envisioning and being able to see what they could be creating with a true loving expression and nurturing dynamic. Okay, and they could be allowing for themselves to you know, really go through the transformation needed in order to release themselves from, you know, painful situations of the past and move forward much more, you know, electrified and inspired with their own personal truth at this time. Look at that, I was saying electrified right there. This usually has a lightning bolt that's shooting into the tarot, or to the tower. So, yeah, somebody could be feeling that they have gained the truth that they need to in order to really make the major changes in their life and create the stability where there had been, you know, the stability had been lacking. Okay, so that is so cute. If you're seeing this, get ready for a bunch of little babies running around your house or something. Just kidding. If you don't want it, I don't know if this is reading for you. But no, like seriously, oh my gosh, they're so cute. Seriously. Can't believe how adorable they were. But yeah, there's inner knowing and courage right here, so somebody could be really moving forward. And I'm like really not trying to like, you know, shove it down your, you know. It could be, you know, anything that you're making, right? You know what I mean? But they were so adorable. So yeah, you could be getting to a much more like joyful awareness of what it is that you could be bringing in and creating for your life. We have cultivation, oops, and inner knowing. And let's see, righteousness, renewal, and exploration. Okay, so somebody could be really feeling, you know, what they feel is, you know, moving in an aligned way where they're no longer questioning their own integrity. Okay, they could be feeling much more renewed and desiring to move forward in you know, into this adventure, exploring and cultivating what it is that they had been, you know, meditating on previously. All right. Roller coaster. Okay, here we go. Put that over there. Okay. So yeah, if you're not trying to do the baby thing, I don't know what to say, but it could be other things that you're creating, but like literally so adorable. I just can't get over it. Anyway, so these they flew on the ground. So somebody could be feeling that they are really moving into a situation that is bringing justice into their life. Okay, they could have been reflecting on a situation and really having a greater sense of belonging. They could be accepting of a spiritual quest that they could have been guided towards in order to move along, and they're creating a greater sense of harmony within themselves and delight to move into the situation. Okay, yeah, somebody could be really spending some time meditating and coming into greater truths. Okay, we have spiritual practice, union and power, perseverance. So somebody could be feeling truly confident within, you know, the efforts that they've been making, the, you know, inward journey that they've been on. And they could be recognizing that they are, you know, moving into a situation where they are able to, you know, persevere, and you know, that they could be moving into a powerful union, and getting to a greater sense of wholeness within themselves and within the power that they are embracing at this time. Okay, somebody could have been, you know, really feeling they were keeping themselves back, isolating, or in a solitary position in certain ways, but at this point, look at that. They have they're getting the courage to express themselves openly. Okay, and they could be recognizing that there had been certain situations that hadn't worked out previously, that they were holding on to resentment for or towards. But at this point, they're wanting to move forward towards what they can be creating and having a greater sense of hope in you know, the overflow that could be coming into their life. Okay, so instead of feeling that they're stuck focused on all the negative, you know, that had been draining and taking away from them, they're moving forward towards what could be that much more fulfilling, fruitful, and intentional. Look, no way, shut your mouth. I said fruitful first. It says fruitfulness right there. Okay. Okay. So you all saw it. Saw it here first. Just kidding. So yeah, fruitful. How funny. So yeah, they could be, you know, recognizing what it is that they could be creating, feeling much more fulfilled by, and having a deeper insight that they're no longer denying. Oh my goodness. Oh, I need to stop talking. I don't want to control you guys or anything. Just kidding. I know, I'm not doing that. Just giving you insight you need. Alright? Okay, there we go. But yeah, that's so funny. So yeah, somebody could be moving to a greater position of understanding for themselves, okay, and really seeing the larger picture at this time. They could be having a greater sense of completeness within themselves and with what it is that they're achieving or desiring to achieve of. And somebody could be having a greater capacity to love. Right here we have faith, wisdom, and prosperity. There's this understanding of, you know, being focused on the positive and what they could be bringing into the world instead of, you know, the falsities and what had been looked at as a loss previously. Okay, so somebody's wanting to focus and concentrate on what they could be nurturing and bringing in. Oh my gosh, stop it. I'm gonna have to take a couple days off because this baby thing is driving me nuts. I'm all looking up right. Anyway. So yeah, somebody could be really focused on what it is that they can be nurturing and expressing themselves. We got childlike expression right there and nurture, okay? And they're recognizing they have the divine support at this point to persevere and move forward towards a completely new beginning, okay? They could be, you know, separating themselves from, you know, situations that are needing to be, you know, buried and left behind. They could be feeling that they're honoring themselves and others, but they are wanting to clear their energy as they move forward into a new beginning, okay? And they're getting to a position where they can really, you know, relax into the truths and the insights that they've gained. Okay. Okay, and there could have been some type of transformation that has occurred, and somebody's wanting to be generous with the protection that they're wanting to offer in this situation, okay? They could be seeing that they are, you know, wanting to be confident with the way that they're navigating, and they could be wanting to make sure that others are feeling that sense of confidence as well, okay? We got inner knowing, energetic movement, and cultivation. So yeah, somebody is going to be taking action with their insight, their own inner truth, and they're going to be moving in a way where they can really create and form you know, more intentionally what they had been, you know, envisioning for themselves previously, okay? So we got music and dancing right here. You know, somebody could be feeling that they're, you know, they're really wanting to take action in a way that is bringing this into their reality, okay? And they're open to the guidance that they're receiving along the way. Right. Yeah. Someone could be feeling that they've gotten the guidance and the truth, been able to see things from a larger perspective and initiate the change necessary. And they could be feeling that the action that they're taking is really preparing themselves, that they could be, you know, aligning with their own inner intelligence and the intelligence of the guidance that they've received. But they could be feeling like they're that much more confident with making the changes that they're desiring of, okay? Competent as well, okay? Egyptian influence could be something. I remember I woke up one morning and this name was just in my head right here, Ptah, right there. And I'm like, what's that mean? And I had to like look up a bunch of stuff. But so yeah, you could be recognizing the guidance that you're receiving and feeling, you know, fueled by this, okay? Also that it's helping for you to develop your own sense of mastery and move forward with a more innocent and joyful expression. And somebody could be, you know, really content and secure and happy. What's the word I'm thinking of right here? Appreciative of the guidance that they're receiving, okay? Alright, there's been a major death and rebirth, okay? It could be like a ego death in certain ways. and somebody is wanting to take action with this newfound confidence and awareness. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, somebody could be feeling that they've, you know, gained the enlightenment that they are needing in order to move forward and heal. Okay. They're recognizing that there is you know, like a resourcefulness that they have within them, that they could be you know, really achieving what it is that they're desiring of as they move aligned with a sense of truth and fairness. Okay, so instead of just being focused on, you know, what it is that they want as an individual, they could be seeing, like I said, the larger picture and moving in a more balanced way. Okay, we have wisdom right here. Okay, yeah, someone could be, you know, facing certain difficulty with a greater sense of wisdom and having certain revelations that are guiding them in a way to help them recognize what their true priorities are meant to be. Feeling empowered, moving forward steadfast, and having a healing understanding where they can see much more openly and easily what they had been denying previously. Okay, so yeah. We have a death and rebirth and order and peace. Okay, so there's been a major shift where somebody could be really open to the blessings that they could be receiving and having a greater sense of fulfillment. Okay, they're embracing certain decisions at this time. And what's this card? They're going to be opening themselves up to the joy. They're going to be honest and candid, and they're moving forward towards new beginnings with a positive outlook. Okay, they could have been transmuting and feeling a greater sense of wholeness within themselves. And this could be you, or you. Anyway. Let me see. How long been here? Oh, 52 minutes. Wow. It's a lot of rambling. Let me just pull this really quick and see really quickly what needs to be. Okay, so somebody could be feeling, you know, they've acquired certain knowledge that has illuminated them, and they could be feeling content within this. Okay, and they're paying attention to what it is really that is enticing or attracting them in comparison to you know, the false situations they've been navigating through previously. Okay, be recognizing where it is that they're magnetized, and both these right here, look at, like, they got the person hiding behind the wall, and then this person's hiding behind the other person. Somebody could be recognizing how they hadn't been forthright or direct. Okay, and at this point they're, you know, elevating into a higher position where there's no need to no need to keep themselves hidden. Okay, which way? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna just pull these, I guess. So somebody's moving into success and victory. Okay, they could have created the balance or are knowing that the balance is being created. They could be feeling truly determined to move from victimhood, sorrow, grief, sadness into contentment, happiness, and gratitude. And they could be wanting to be much more sweet and compassionate, or, you know, expressing themselves in a more innocent way. They could have been dealing with an excess of invasive or nosy energies that were trying to, you know, put negativity on them or find some type of negative that they could be bringing out of a situation. Okay, at this point somebody's wanting to move forward much more independently instead of focusing on the fear that they could have had, and they could be creating a balance within themselves, moving more diplomatically, romantically, idealistically, okay, and wanting to be easygoing and sociable. They could be recognizing that they had created their own trap in a certain way by focusing on lustful energies at the forefront, okay? And they could be, you know, like I said, elevating in a way, excuse me, that is helping for them to navigate away from those outlooks, okay? All right, yeah, somebody could have been recognizing how certain impersonal connections were bringing a sense of dis-ease into their life, okay? And they could be wanting to send their love. They could be wanting to, you know, move into more friendly, honest, and loyal contracts, commitments, obligations, or agreements, okay? And they could be recognizing how pretentious, superficial, or bragging type of behavior had been really kind of taking away from what it was that they could have been creating with their ideal relationship dynamics, okay? Somebody is feeling much more optimistic and hopeful when it comes to taking action and utilizing their authority. They could be feeling that they're moving into an otherworldly type of relationship dynamic. And they could be paying attention to their senses a lot more intentionally or openly. And, you know, recognizing what their imagination had been guiding them within. Okay? Or their intuitive and, you know, emotional expression had been guiding them within. And they could be also seeing how there had been others who had been trying to, you know, navigate them away or block them from what they were, you know, the true successes that they're meant to be having, okay? And, it's like, I'll show you the picture. It's like this right here. Somebody could have been focused on, you know, false light dynamics and ritualistic behavior, but at this point they're paying attention to the actual light of the sun for the guidance that they're needing. Instead of, you know, they're seeing things in a much more, you know, broader and, you know, a larger way, instead of focusing on you know, the negativity and the falsehoods that others had been trying to form and create around them, okay? So somebody is healing, recovering, and mending from difficulty, and they're paying attention to, you know, what it is that they've been illuminated towards, but also becoming this for themselves, okay? They're aligning with their own divinity, and they're asserting themselves and taking action when it comes to, you know, what they had been seeing as emotional manipulation. They could be recognizing that they are in, you know, a dominant position where they're no longer having to align with fraudful and false behaviors, okay? They could be seeing how there had been other people who were trying to, you know, regulate them, or kind of like look into their life in a certain way, but they are now more focused on, you know, their intuitive and emotional expression, and what that truly means within the collective, and, you know, kind of wanting to research and gain a greater depth of knowledge to feel that much more confident and comfortable moving into this and create, oh, look at, they could be moving forward in a way where they're taking action in a loving way, initiating towards a new beginning, and a greater sense of adventure. Okay, let me see how much time we got. 59:02. Oh my god. So we got access, okay, to where somebody's wanting to be within, you know, the true soul connections and friendly dynamics. Okay, somebody is now no longer wanting to partake in chaos magic, but be a true role model for others, and they could be recognizing that as they follow their intuition and their guidance, they are safe and secure with, you know, balance or peace, harmony, and calm. Okay, so pay attention to your intuition. I go now. Hey. Okay. Under an hour. All right. But yeah, good job, and take the adventure, initiate. All right. Bye.